Hello everyone, welcome again to the channel. Today I want to share with you my opinion about this recent story, and it says Moscow city councilor gets 7 years jail for an anti-war comment. So let's get more into this. So his name is Alexei Gorinov, and in March 15, during a meeting, this meeting that was a meeting for a children's drawing contest, he said that Russia was waging a war of aggression against Ukraine. What kind of children's drawing contest can we talk about for Children's Day when we have children dying every day? That's some of the things he says, and he was arrested under Article 207.3 of the Criminal Code, and the essence of this article is to outlaw deliberate dissemination of fake information about Russia's army, defined as information deviating from official reports. So this is the essence of this law. The law is imposing jail term up to 15 years for spreading intentionally fake news about the military. They also impose fines for public calls for sanctions against Russia. If the fake leads to serious consequences, then imprisonment of up to 15 years. And there is punishment for anyone deemed to have discredited the armed forces, with stiffer penalties for those who intentionally spread fake information or call for unsanctioned public action. Probably unsanctioned public action means something illegal. I think that's what they're trying to say. So that's the essence of this law is basically to give the Russian government power over this information war, and they were doing this. They thought this was necessary because it is very prevalent, the information, especially in the West, against Russia's action, and I can see how this can be abused. Probably it has good intentions, like most laws can be deemed positive in essence, in principle, but in the application of it can be certainly twisted and abused. It is lending itself to abuse. So he was saying, they took away my spring, they took away my summer, and now they have taken away 7 more years of my life. So that's what he said. And let's see another article that is related to this, to see some of the things that he was saying. So he's 60 years old. He's the first to receive this long-term prison sentence for spreading knowingly false information about the Russian army. I don't know exactly what he said. This is him, Alexei Gorinov, and here he's holding a sign that says, "Do you still need this war?" And he was also on trial with another person, but this other person was trialed in absence because apparently she left Russia. Okay, so he said he warned of a return to Stalin times while doubling down on his call for an end to Putin's war. "I believe all efforts of Russian civil society should be aimed only at stopping the war and withdrawing Russian troops from the territory of Ukraine." He protested vocally about children dying in the war. I think this is correct, most of the things he's saying. He has been detained but repeated his objections to the war. Okay, so they're talking about this sign that I told you. In his closing statement, the counselor said, "War, whatever synonym you call it, it is the last, dirtiest, vile thing, unworthy of the title of a man. I thought that Russia had exhausted its limit of wars back in the 20th century. However, our present is Bucha, Irpin, and Hostomel. Do these names mean something to you? You, the accusers, take an interest and do not say later that you did not know anything. I'm convinced of this. War is the fastest means of dehumanization when the line between good and evil is blurred. War is always violence and blood, torn bodies and severed limbs. It is always death. I don't accept it and reject it." He said also, "For 5 months Russia has been conducting hostilities on the territory of a neighboring state, misleadingly calling it a special military operation where promised victory and glory. Okay, so he says a lot of things. Let's say he also said that he hopes that one day he will become Russian ambassador to Ukraine. So overall, my opinion about this is, first of all, this is legal according to Russian law. Do I think it is correct? I'm against war myself. So I have repeatedly called against war. I have even sometimes referred to this special military operation in Ukraine as a war. So if I was living in Russia, probably I will be subjected to the same law and probably will end up in jail. That's what laws do. No, they classify certain actions as illegal. I'm not very much familiar with the laws of Russia as a whole, but I think that the freedom of speech is not the same as it is in some other countries, and especially they try to protect people from negative information. Like I said before, this can be abused. I don't agree with everything he said. That, for example, he says that it's a war of aggression. It's not a war of aggression, in my opinion. So I disagree with that. I agree with him that children are dying, people are dying, wars are horrible. I agree with that. I agree with many of the things he said, but he's not correct about many of the things. For example, he was telling about the Irpin, Bucha, Hostomel. If you remember this area, Irpin, Bucha, Hostomel is this area where there were some reports that Ukraine discovered some people that were killed by Russian soldiers, and I have seen numerous articles and comments, videos of people discrediting this story as false. There is evidence that this was staged. Unfortunately, people really died, but appears that they were killed by Ukrainian security forces, and that is my opinion on the subject. So that's why I disagree with some of the things he said. But do I think he should be in jail for opposing war? I don't agree with that. I think he should be allowed to say whatever he wants. So that's my opinion. I just hope things will change in the future. I always think that the government should not have so many powers over people. I agree with the fact that citizens should have some basic rights, including freedom of speech, as long as you're not harming anyone. But it is what it is. These are the laws in Russia right now. So it is something that I just wanted to share with you, and let me know what you think about it in the comment section of the video. And as always, I ask you to please like this video, share it in social media, and subscribe to the channel. I hope to see you again very soon. Thank you for watching.